What's going on, everybody? Josh White here, and you're watching another episode of the JDub Twins. Before I get started, please hit that like button and subscribe button down below so you can get notified of our latest videos. Alright, so today we are talking about the 5 things that I love about my car, okay? And so, with that being said, let's get it. Number 1, the first thing that I love so much about my car are the body lines. You cannot beat the look of this car and the way the body lines on this car look. It just looks so sleek and it looks just so freaking sexy, alright? And so, the Mustang is a car that just stands out on the road. And regardless if you're a Mustang fan or not, you have to admit that when you see it on the road, it has a presence and the car just looks great, okay? Now, I love the fact that they took the Mustang GT in a different direction as far as body style. The Dodge Challenger, it sticks to more of a traditional look for their platform, and it's been the same for nearly 10 years, I believe. Well, the S550, they decided to go a different direction with the S550 platform, right? So they just kind of stepped away from the more traditional muscle car look and decided to go with a more exotic look. Something that I greatly appreciate and just really love about the car, okay? I always wondered, why did the American muscle car, American sports cars, why did they not just go in a more exotic look, exotic direction? And Ford, I guess they decided that they were going to do just that. Just a car that stands out on the road, looks sleek, yet looks aggressive, and just, it has a presence on the road, and you can't deny that. So for number 2, the second thing that I love about my car is the engine. We're talking about a naturally aspirated 5-liter Coyote V8 engine that puts out 460 horsepower and 420 pound-feet of torque. It's an absolute blast to drive this car. Every time I'm behind the wheel, I just want to freaking floor the thing, alright? Yeah, it's just that fun to drive, okay? When you put your foot down, you will get sucked in the back of your seat. So keep in mind, I do have the Mustang GT Ford Performance Calibration Kit installed on my car. So, to the wheels, I'm putting out 432 horsepower, 414 pound-feet of torque, and again, it just makes the car just that much more fun to drive. So for number 3, the third thing that I love so much about my car are the tires, okay? We're talking about the Michelin Pilot Sport 4S's that comes with the Performance Pack 1 version of our car for the 2018 to 2020 Mustang GT models. They're just so super sticky, and for a summer tire, it does very well. It does well in the dry and in the wet, and as well as in colder temperatures. The tires in general give me confidence on the road whenever I'm accelerating. Never have I had an instance of driving where the wheels have spun out on me, which is awesome, right? Because I know for the Challenger, my brother, he has the Dodge Challenger Scat Pack wide body, and it comes with the Pirelli P0s, and he's told me on several occasions whenever he's accelerating that the tires spin out on him, and he kind of gets like this little nervous feeling, if you will. Whereas for me, never once have I accelerated and not just had confidence knowing that the power is going to be put down onto the road and that I'm going to go, forward in a straight line. So number 4, the fourth thing that I love so much about my car is that the aftermarket market for our car is just so huge. There's a dynamic range of modifications that we can do with our car. It doesn't matter what you're trying to get, there's a part available for it, okay? And so we're talking about all these different vendors, CJ Pony Parts, American Muscle, Late Model Restoration, Ford Performance Parts, Stita. There's several more out there that I could name, and they have every part imaginable for our car, whether it's the older models or the brand new 2020, okay? We're talking modifications for, the exterior, interior, for the engine, for the suspension, for the exhaust. I don't care what it is, there's a part out there for it that you can find. And this is more than I can say for the Challenger or for Dodge because, again, giving an example, I was looking for an H-pipe for my car. easily. There's like 8 different options for H-pipes, and my brother, he was thinking about maybe putting the H-pipe on his Challenger, and you know, he can't even find one out there on the market. I believe if he wants to get an H-pipe, you have to go to an exhaust shop so that they could fabricate one for him. And to be able to have such a huge market for aftermarket parts for our cars, for me, you know, I'm a bit of a mod bug, and whenever I get that itch, I can just go onto the internet and find a part. Having our car, there's not a shortage of parts available. The 5th thing that I love so much about my car, number 5, is the digital gauge cluster that comes with the 401A package. Now, absolutely not necessary to get, and I know for some people that aren't a huge fan, they forego the digital gauge cluster option. But in my case, I absolutely love it. Now, and if you can afford to get it, I highly recommend you do. Now, I thought I was going to miss having that analog, tangible look of the gauge cluster. In all honesty, I have no regrets getting it. The way the screen display changes with the different drive modes is, to me, just next level, next generation type technology. And being able to customize the different colors is definitely a cool feature to kind of, you know, give your car a custom, unique feel that matches you, okay? If you can get the digital gauge cluster, highly recommend it. It's just an awesome feature to have, and it's really like next level, next generation technology at your fingertips. Those are the 5 things that I love about my car. Some honorable mentions would be the performance active exhaust, and then the Magneride suspension, okay? So I say honorable mentions because although I absolutely love the active exhaust, I wouldn't put it in my top 5, only because although it's a cool feature to have, it's nice to be able to set the levels of loudness for the exhaust, especially being able to have that quiet mode is very handy when going to work in the morning and not having to wake up my neighbors. And especially with the H-pipe installed on it, and that's the reason why I don't have it on my top 5, for the reasons why I love it, because of the fact that it's a part that I had to modify, okay? With that H-pipe though, it's very handy to have that quiet exhaust mode, because with the H-pipe, the loudness and the volume of the exhaust has increased. And so whenever I'm doing cold starts, they are absolutely loud. And having it in quiet mode definitely lowers down the volume of the exhaust when starting the car up, and then also whenever just, you know, driving out of the parking lot. And also the Magneride suspension. Again, I love it. I have no regrets getting it. You know, and it really comes in handy whenever you're driving on the back roads. You can stiffen up the suspension, and it gives you full confidence when taking those curves. And then also whenever I'm driving in the city and there's potholes and there's railroad tracks, or you know, just rough roads, you can put it in normal mode, and the car really does soak up those bumps. The reason why I don't have it in the top 5 things I love about my car is only because there is a limited option for lowering springs when you have the Magneride suspension. So, you know, for those of you out there that like to get your car slammed and in 2-inch drops, you know, you can't do that, as far as I know, with the Magneride suspension, because with that feature you can only drop your car down, but so low. But anyways, yep, again, those are my top 5 things that I love. Please comment down below if you agree with the top 5 things that I love, or comment down below for the top 5 things that you love about your Mustang, okay? So, if you like what you're watching, please hit that subscribe button down below, like the video, and thank you for the support, and stay tuned for the next JDub Twins episode. Alright, bye.